Did you ever face like any discouragement starting off? And how did you overcome that to say, well, I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyways?
Yeah, I think we call that haters. No. If you ain't got haters, you ain't doing something
Look
right.
at me now.
They know who they are. I also I would rather be, if I had to pick, I would love to be both, but I would definitely want to be a mom for sure. Want to be a mom. So, but that's just me. I don't give a fuck. Like if the man ain't here and my eggs are going TikTok, I will mate with my gay best friend. Like I will be like, you got good genes, come from a good family. Let's go.
That's actually the thing.
Yeah. I'm like inseminate. Like that's it. I don't feel societal pressure whatsoever. As long as my body, I will do what I have to do. I'll freeze eggs. I'll do whatever. Freeze that shit. Put it in my mother's freezer next to the sausage. And and that I used to feel that a little bit. I am the black sheep in my family, not married, no kids, nowhere near it at all. And I do think for a little while my family gauged my happiness and how well I was doing by why doesn't she bring anybody home? Like, is she gonna get but now they've seen how well comedy's going. So they're like, oh, let her do her thing. Let her do her thing. Like she's on a different path. I feel a weird pressure from my parents because they're older and I know they would love to see me with kids and love to have grandkids. And my dad's a little sick and my mom, they're 70. So if there's one area where I feel the most pressure, it's that.
I've heard of that.
I'm I want them to see me have a kid.
No, my parents are the same thing. My dad's 70, my mom's 66, 67 or something like that.
My mom's 60 and my dad's 70.
And the same thing.
Yeah.
I have an older brother. That's not going to happen. I have even an older sister and she told my parents, I'm not bringing a kid to this.
Oh, so you're under
world.
so much
So then
pressure.
my mom's like,
oh my God.
Oh, when are you gonna, bring a nice little girl around here? And I'm like, yo, chill out. I'm pretty much the same mindset. I'm very career driven and I'm very into myself, making sure that I'm okay. But do you feel like now you are your own kind of obstacle into finding a relationship? Because we had Natalie on, remember when she was talking about her ex, that they were together for 9 years and he wasn't comfortable. They wanted to buy a home together. And he was if I'm not mistaken, I think he was a firefighter. Yeah. So he wanted to buy a home. He's like, I don't want to rent, we're still pretty young. We're going to be, we still have time, whatever. But she's like, well, I need something that's telling me what's next. And he said, well, I'm not comfortable moving forward until I feel like I can fully support.
That's a timing issue.
I'm not in a financially secure position yet. So do you think that you're just kind of putting this ceiling and this roof over your head where you're like, well, until I make it here, then maybe. But do you even think that when you make it, maybe you're gonna say, well,
I don't even want it, or I don't.
Or maybe I gotta get here. No, I thought now I need this. Oh no, now I need this.
Yeah,
so you're just delaying it even further.
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. I just know right now, for so many reasons, I couldn't have a child. I would ideally want to have a child with a consistent, trusted partner and things like that, of which I don't have a semblance of that. And financially, I can't. Afford it. Yeah. I'm living back in Kendall with my parents writing jokes all day, which I love, but it's just not the time. Yeah. I think I will say in that relationship taught me that, as well as a number of other decisions in my life. My gut has never led me astray. I've always made decisions. I think I've made pretty good decisions. I mean, it's led me here and I'm pretty fucking happy and happy with who I am and what I'm doing. So far so good. So I will trust that I'll know kind of thing. I don't think I'm an obstacle in my own way. It might not, I'm very not old generation in that I don't think it has to follow a plan necessarily. I don't know, I might fall madly in love and meet my person and maybe they don't believe in marriage and then that changes how I think or whatever, or maybe something happens with my career and I get pregnant and I'm like, I am ready. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. My life looks completely different now than when it did 5 years ago. So I'm just going to trust that since I'm the constant, I have my own back. If there's one thing that relationship taught me, it's I have my own back. I know me. I'll look out for me, and other things taught me that too, but that primarily. So I'll know. I think I'll know. Jeez.
I love that because I feel like if more people will be like that and open to change, knowing that whatever happens in life, it'll be okay. You always have yourself, and ultimately, I feel like the problem that a lot of people having is, especially in our generation, we were taught to go to school, have kids, to structure, having kids, getting married by 25, 26. They have this timetable, right? Like this timeline that has to be knocked off. Otherwise, I'm not the person that I need to be, or I'm not happy. There's no direct correlation between happiness and having kids and being married or having a house. There isn't.
No.
And the fact that you're so, whatever happens, whatever comes my way, you're so like almost like free spirited. I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I wish more people would be accepting of that.
I know those things are in my future the same way that I knew in my gut that I was always going to be a comedian. Like I had been performing my whole life. I was stuck in a job I hated. But if you like pushed me into a corner and were like, what do you really think you're going to do with your life? Like, what do you really think you are? I would have told you. I was like, I'm going to be a comedian. Like, I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be an actress. Like, I'm going to do this. Even though at that time I hadn't actualized it or realized it or done it, I never saw myself as like the head of the music industry or like owning my own record label. Like, I always saw myself doing this. So I have to have faith that those things are in my future, and a little bit of it's like carpe diem, like whatever. And like, if it's not, then it wasn't supposed to be.
Oh, I like that though.
Right? Like
that.
I do believe, I'm hippy dippy. Like I love that shit. Like astrology, tarot, energy, shit like that. But
really?
also like my spirituality comes from like, I do believe everything is going to be the way it should be.
Well, I believe strongly in that. I think that
Yeah.
eventually, everything happens for a reason, good,
Yes.
bad, and it's just part of building you and kind of part of the life that it's going to lead you to.
100%.
It's all about, being open and accepting, and instead of being like, wow, this sucks, and now you dwell about it, it's like, well, what is this trying to teach me right now?
Correct.
And if it's great, it's like, oh, awesome, but it's like, what can I learn? How can I be better? So I feel like there's always opportunity to learn from these experiences, but you have to be open to accepting them when they occur.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think so much of life and a lack of happiness and stagnancy comes from the fact that like we fight things and we spend so much time trying to force things into our own will, or like not accept our circumstances or let our circumstances define us and stuff like that, as opposed to just being like, this is what I'm given and this is how I'm going to make the best out of it. Or if I really want something to be different, just go out and fucking do it. Just like go make it different,
Like that.
So easier said than done. I fail with this and succeed with this all the time in different ways, but yeah. I have to believe that like even when shitty fucking shit happens, I have to be like,
yeah,
it's supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, really quick. I had a situation the other day that it was like something dumb. Like I think either it started raining or something was canceled. Then I was like, don't get upset. If it was canceled, this happened, that was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Or this fell, it broke. Hey, it was meant to break. That's it.
Yeah.
Move it along.
Yeah. And then you have to look back at like old situations that you've gone through. Like I always do that. And I'm like, look at everything that didn't work out, no matter the reason or how, wasn't meant to be.
True.
If you think about it,
like yeah. No, that's it. Yeah. No, yeah.
The question is this particular incident going to matter a year from now? And if the answer is no, then why am I going to exert so much energy and negativity on this one occurrence, whatever it is?
Like we give so much weight to this one thing when tomorrow it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Right,
or next week, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So it's so life is relative. It's really what you make out of it.
Yeah.
And I think there's a beauty in life when you realize that it's amazing sometimes how it's beautiful when you don't have it all figured out, right?
Yeah.
You take life as it comes, and whatever happens,
Mm-hmm.
and then what doesn't happen simply doesn't happen. But when you try to control every little aspect of your life, bro, you lose the beauty of what life is truly meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think that also helps because when we have, I don't want to say an expectation, but then when we get upset when things don't go our way,
Exactly.
it's like now this ruins
Everything.
your whole, like you had this plan.
Yeah.
Right? Well, because when this happens, then that means I'm going to go do this. And because then this comes next and I'm like, dude, so then what happens if, okay, the first one was good, but then the second, whatever checkpoint you had in your life doesn't go, like, now what? Was everything a failure? Like, no, take it for what it is. Like, learn from everything and just be open and accepting. Like, this is what life's about. We get thrown these challenges every single day. And I think life gets determined on what we do with those challenges and how we overcome those challenges. That's how we develop ourselves.
1000%.
And being able to do that, and that you're only going to attract people with the same type of energy for you to, hopefully eventually, have a nice little partnership with them. But you have to like go through things and just accept it for what it comes and grow and learn from them.
It's nothing's like an end all be all, make it, break it. Like I used to think in absolutes too. Like maybe it's the Italian in me. Like my friends make fun of me. They're like, you're so Italian because you're so like, I hate it, I love it, I'm over it, I'm in it, I'm out, like whatever. And they're like, I'm finding so much beauty in the gray area. Or like anything that happens, I'm like, this is one part of a million other things that's going to happen. And it's impacting me in this way, but not in this way. And like, it is kind of, I'm type A, super neurotic, like super, but like, I have learned that there's so much beauty in being like, I have no control. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
I have no control over how this goes. That's beautiful. All I have control over is how I respond or how much weight I give to it.
It's almost like relieving.
It's relieving. Like, it's amazing.
Stressing yourself out over a situation when it's like, for what?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also when people are like, oh, what are you going to do with your life? And I'm like, I have no idea. And that's beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna go through life figuring it out.
I don't think life is that like what you were just saying. Like I agree with you. I don't think it's that like, because I used to think that too. This is gonna be this, which is gonna lead to that, which is gonna go to this. It really is just, instead of being just a handful of big major milestones and choices, it's really like a billion moments and choices. And as long as like ranging from the coffee you order to like the partner you choose to be with, you know in your gut like, it feels good at that time and it feels like something you should do. If you just keep doing that, you're gonna go where you're meant to go. I have to think. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not that make it or break it. It's just like, it's all a series of moments that we get to decide. As if it doesn't feel good, don't do it.
In a movie, there's a scene. I think it was like not so much cartoon, but it was one of these like animated ones. And I think Robin Williams was the voiceover actor of one of them. And he was having a conversation. I think it was like Polar Express or something like that. And he goes, oh, so what are you going to do next? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. And he's like, how exciting.
Yeah.
You know, like, what's next? I forgot what the word was, but it was so, like, liberating to just be like, man, I don't know what's going to come tomorrow. He's like, I know, it's not great.
Yeah.
Like, if we can just accept it like that, just imagine how much, like, better people we can all be with just, like, going with it, rolling with the punches.
How much happier we'd all be.
I agree.
People would stop losing their shit all the time. And like, you know what I mean? Yeah, sorry, I cut you off. No, just we'd be happier, I think, that way. Yeah.
No, man, I'm thinking because if
look it up now. I was like, on my head now.
No, because there's so much expectation and so much weight into these big moments. And when you realize that there's beauty, and if you find beauty in the small moments, waking up in the morning, having that sip of coffee, turning around to your partner or playing with your dog, when you find the joy in those moments, man, that's when life really begins.
Yeah. It totally does.
Yeah.
It's time for your next adventure. I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. How exciting.
Isn't
that cool, dude?
It's so true.
Yeah,
it's so true, man.
It was in Teddy Roosevelt, played by Robin Williams.
Yeah. And he was genius.
I don't know what movie this was. Oh, yeah, I said Polar. It was not even animated. It was a real movie. But anyways, I think it was Nightmare at the Museum. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like, I just think that if we can just like, just live.
Just live and not take everything so seriously in some ways too. And like, just understand that like you've got yourself. Like even sometimes I stress out about things and I'll be like, oh, I feel like I should have more money in my savings, or I feel like I should be doing this, or I feel like, and like certain things like that, like my life at 30 is the opposite of what my life was. And in my early 20s, my life on paper was like chef's kiss. Like picture perfect. Like my credit score was amazing. Now my credit score is like what most people preheat their oven to. Like it's scary. Like, you know, it's scary. But it's like I was making ridiculous money in New York, had an apartment in New York. Like I had my together according to who the whoever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Love that I didn't ask if I could curse or not, and I've dropped 18 F-bombs.
Our editor's gonna have a field day on this one.
Oh, is it a clean podcast?
No, it's good. But YouTube, you know, they kind of...
We'll be fine.
I love the little beep. I love the beep. Add the beep. Do it. Just be beep, 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 beep. It's gonna sound like I'm in a hospital. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, like a pulse.
Pulse, right.
Yeah.
Clear.
So I was like, so my life was amazing in my early 20s, like at least on paper, right? But I was so deeply unhappy. And I've always kind of had a sense of who I was, but like, it's because of all these things that I was doing that I thought I should be doing, but I wasn't really listening to myself about what I wanted to be doing or how I wanted to look or where, so much shit that led me to that relationship that kind of busted my life wide open. If the only thing I could turn to was comedy. And now at 30, like, I'm like, I don't have like the on paper things I had at 22, but I'm like really happy, like, and content. And I love everybody who's in my life. I love my best friends. I have a great relationship with my family. I'm doing what I love. It's going well. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I would take 30-year-old Brittany with a bad credit score, but with everything else, that's awesome. Versus 22-year-old Brittany, who's just following these weird rules, but like is actually pretty unhappy and not, I don't know.
Do you ever feel like maybe you can experience burnout again? I remember you had said it earlier in the beginning.
I experience it all the time.
Do you really?
My cycle is like burnout, crash. It's not healthy.
Yeah, so what,
I don't recommend it.
Where's your mental health? Like, I'm sorry, but like your mental state out. Like, what are you thinking when you're like, man, I'm gonna burn out? But I feel like you're probably like, well, I have to.
Yeah.
But that's no longer fun.
No.
So how do you find that? Because you just said right now, like, I'm much happier now doing this and this. So then how do you overcome those instances when you're like, damn, like, I don't want to do this anymore?
I just remember that I was spending so much time doing stuff that I didn't want to do.
That's true. You don't know what you got till it's gone. Because then what, you let go of it, and then what, you go back to like corporate job or something, and you're like,
it's not an option.
What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah. Like I complain. Well, it's like anything else. Like comedy is my job now. So it's like, there's some days you go to work and you're happy to be there. And then there's some days you're dragging your butt to get out of bed. Like it's, so I think that's part of it too, with even like bombing on stage. Like people are like, oh my God. I'm like, everybody has bad days at work.
Yeah.
Everybody, you're not always 100, like
look at how you're approaching that. You're like, oh, well, I just had a bad day at work. And maybe it sucks at the moment, but you're like, okay, well, tomorrow will be a new day.
Let me be clear. If I bomb badly enough, I'm the first person in the corner who's like, like a troll. Like,
but but the next day I'm sure you're like, hey, it's just a new day.
For the most part, I just sleep it off, and then I'm like, oh, I get to do it again. Whatever. Like that's it. Like that's it. So, yeah, I think the burnout is like that's just like self-care and which I'm not self-care is not even the right. I feel like we're all like, you guys played like The Sims growing up.
Yeah, I did.
Like we really are like The Sims. Like sometimes when I'm feeling really burnt out and I'm like not looking good, I'm in a bad mood, I'm like cranky, I'm like, I envision myself as a sim with all the levels really low. Yeah. And I'm like, she just needs sleep and food and social and rest, and you know what I mean? So
kind of like a little detox of the routine.
Recharge.
Yeah.
I think it's important, especially the life that we live, like the hectic lifestyle, the traffic, and work, and whatever it is that we're trying to figure out. Sometimes you just need like a couple of days to do nothing and disconnect and get a break.
Well, yeah, it's going to be me next week. Remember?
I know.
I was reaching that point. I was reaching the point of burnout because I used to edit all the videos, and there's still some things that I'll edit. And I would just overwhelm myself because it takes a lot of time. I mean,
oh my God, it's exhausting.
Right now, look, we literally just broke an hour, and that's an hour of just visually watching, and then there's one file, two files,
syncing,
3 files,
editing,
the audio. I had to put all that together, and then it required so much time. So then when we got back into the studio, it's like, I had to do this all over again.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point that he goes, dude, you just need to stop. So luckily we found someone. He's doing an amazing job. Hope you're listening to this, homie.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry in advance for all of the foul language. I did not know, but I will.
We're putting you to work.
Exactly.
But
I'll buy you a drink.
But he was telling me, he's like, you know what? It's you just need to recharge. Like you just like, because when you get to the point of burnout, you don't want to do anything.
Which is, I think, the number one sign of burnout. Like when I started, like when I start to not really look forward to stage time, then that's when I'm like, or I start to notice like I'm like socially too. When I get burned out, I just stop talking to people, and then people are like, "Are you okay? You seem like you were in a bad mood." And I'm like, "Oh, I just didn't feel like, being present or whatever." So it's important. And also, this stuff is like, it's not just creative. Like we care about this stuff. We're passionate about it. If we didn't care, it would be maybe not as draining, but. It's the same thing when I'm editing my stand-up clips. My mom's like, what is taking you hours? I'm like, because it's a joke that I want to post, but I got to make sure that it's captioned and it's edited. And then are people going to like it? Is it going to do well? It's draining.
Then sometimes you put all that work and then like maybe it doesn't do well.
And you're like, great.
You're like, fuck.
Wow. Right. I spent the entire night doing this for like 100 views.
I'm like, great, back to the music business. No, I'm kidding. Never. Yeah.
No, but also with burnout, it's crazy how it can translate into everything else, because I could be burned out from this or from the editing, and then I'll go to work and I'm pissed. I'll hang out with friends and I'm pissed.
It bleeds into everything. And you're all of a sudden you're picking fights with your friends or something. Not like fights, but like you're like,
you'll bicker.
Why
like
is this annoying to me?
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's how he was, bro. Like, he does so much stuff with the editing, and I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, we'll get an editor. Take
what's up?
up, bro? Got you outside.
Oh, you don't like my attitude?
I don't.
Now it feels like couples counseling. I'm like, everybody, let's talk about it.
It's like you're interviewing us.
Yeah, I'm like, guys, just keep your emotions at bay. Just like,
No, because
what sign are you guys, by the way? I haven't asked.
March.
Red flag. This is a red flag.
Yeah. For me,
I'm kidding.
I said, I'm a white woman named Brittany Brave. I'm going to talk about astrology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You want to know what time I was born too? Do you know what time you were born?
Do you know your rising sign?
Oh, hell no.
No, I don't know.
I know my sign. I know my sign.
Yeah, I'm an Aries.
You're an Aries?
Yeah. Aries. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh my God, fiery energy. We love.
Yeah.
We love.
Yeah? Does it match?
But I'm a water sign.
I'm a fire sign.
No, fiery. Well, fiery, I mean, that wasn't the right word. Aries and Scorpio are potent energy. They're like the two badasses, the two vigilantes, like when they get together, the adventurers and stuff like that. Yeah. No, I totally see it.
Yeah.
If we would have asked you to guess, you probably would have said something completely
I would have thought Libra or Scorpio for you. I would have thought Cancer for you because your energy is maybe your rising sign is Cancer. You're calm for an Aries.
I am calm. I'm calm.
Yeah.
He's seen some shit.
I have my moment.
He's seen some shit.
I have my moments.
Some shit. Yeah.
Is it that like trauma cat where it's like they say you're fine, but you're really not fine?
That's me in every relationship now. Yeah. Like they're like, are you happy with him? I'm like, yeah. Do you trust him?
Normal.
Yeah, it's going great. Like, yeah, like that's me now. Yeah. Legit.
That's awesome.
Oh man. I'm trying to think.
We have a lot. We covered a lot.
We did.
I love
that. Was amazing.
Love this.
We'll be at.
I think
like about 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
That way we can start rolling up.
T minus 10.
T minus 10. I'm trying to think if I can have anything else.
What's next for you?
Yeah. Are you working today?
I am. I have shows tonight and tomorrow. I have shows every night. And then this week I'm going to Four Corners Comedy Festival in Durango, Colorado. I'm headlining, which will be fun. I split my time between Miami and New York. Basically.
Do you like dating? Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Do you prefer dating like Miami men or New York men?
No men. No men.
No men.
Nobody.
Men are illegal.
Nobody.
Yeah. I'm so over it right now. No. I haven't really dated a lot down here in Miami. I have been, unfortunately. The last two people I was involved with were comics, and no more of that.
Really?
I think.
It's also the environment that you're in. Like it's like think of how many affairs happen with coworkers because they're always with them. So it's like if you're always in the same environment, eventually, you start.
It's gonna happen. And it's like it's a beautiful world to live in and a beautiful fantasy to think that two coworkers aren't gonna hook up. Great. Everyone's like, don't hook up with comics, don't hook up with comics. I'm like, great, totally. But like how you said, like it's late nights. Also, you work with them. You understand each other. It's who you're around all the time, stuff like that.
Carlos had said that on his episode that like it just felt like easy and natural with, I think it was some girl from the improv that he met. That was strictly a friend, but then was it you?
Carlos and I. No, we did, but it's fine. I love him. Oh my God, it wasn't me, but I was like, did he talk about me on this? I was like, I must have missed that part, you asshole. Maybe. No. I'm just kidding. No. We were, and that's actually how Carlos and I started. And like, we like knew of each other in the scene, and then we were seeing each other. And
you were?
Yeah, we were for a little bit. He's gonna kill me for saying this. That's fine. I don't care. I'll text him.
Well, we didn't know.
We didn't know.
I thought when you called it out, that's when I was like, did he say something? But no.
I was just.
He's wonderful, and we're best friends. And we just like it was like timing, and we wanted different things. We're great.
He did mention that he did meet someone who was a good friend at the improv, and then after his relationship ended, he dated that person for a little bit.
That's not me.
Okay.
Carlos, what? Get your shit. No, I'm kidding. I
think he likes dating everybody. He's like, improv comedy.
I think that's when he knew he liked me. When I was like, I used to do improv. He was like, you want to date? Like, no. But we're best friends. Like, we're fine. Hot Miami gossip. Breaking it on the podcast.
Tabloids.
I believe here's my thought about working with and dating the same people.
Shitting where you eat.
Shitting where you eat. Exactly. I think that it can work. I think that the reasons it doesn't work are issues that have nothing to do with the fact that you work together. I think people are insecure, disrespect, other stuff, I think. Well, it's not really that you work together.
No, but the fact that you are working together maybe amplifies all those feelings. And now it's like, well.
Yeah, because it'll amplify the good feelings, but then if you guys are pissed, now everyone's like, yo.
Right.
Like, let's not get near these people.
Yeah.
And that just ruins the whole dynamic of the office.
You can't escape each other as quickly. You have to, and also too, if you are in the same field, competition's a thing. Like, this isn't about Carlos because he's amazing and he hustles, but I have been involved with comics where I'm gonna sound douchey to say this, but like not on the same
scrubs.
Not on the same level, not on the same hustle, and oh boy, does it get taken out on you sometimes in subtle ways. Like, I'm not jealous, I swear. Like,
that's true. Because then if they see you doing better, and it's like, because everybody wants to see you do good, just not better than them. So it could be where they see you, they're like,
that's everybody though.
Well,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, because you'll probably pop off, and it's like maybe you did something where he's like, I could have said something better, and I would have gone.
Oh, I felt it. Yeah, I've had it. And it wasn't like Carlos is one that was like, because he's hustling and he has his own paths. He's killing. Yeah. And it's like, but I have been involved with other comics where it was, they made it clear, and they found opportunities to put me down or to get in my head with certain things. And I was like, this is why, or like I was seeing a comic down here. I felt used. Like, I was like, I think he's trying to like, and he would make jokes about it, but there's truth in every joke and stuff like that. Yeah. So you just always
like little
jabs. And it was like, oh, I think you should use your clout to get me on this. And I was like, get out of here with that. Like, no way. And like,
oh, that's another thing. Maybe you come across people who just want to date you because of some sort of exposure or some sort of.
Yeah. Well, that's something too. And it's all, but I think it all goes back to like, work or not, date your equal, date someone who respects you, date someone who is on your level in terms of hustling with you, whether you're both comedians or you're an accountant and he's a comedian or whatever the case is. Cause like, as long as it's two people who are secure in their own lanes, then those two lanes can come together. It's when those two lanes come together that you realize how one of them is doing 100 and one of them's doing 60. You know what I mean? Like that's where it's like, oh, wait a minute. That's where there's traffic, if you will. There's a metaphor.
Traffic. I like that.
There's a metaphor for you. Yeah.
We gotta start.
Yeah.
You cool?
No, I'm good.
And we got to start wrapping it up for the
okay.
Time.
2 more hours. Let's do it.
Right. No, they charge us like $100 after that.
Oh, I feel that. Okay. We will wrap it up now. Yeah.
So, no, we usually end with a final thoughts. And with final thoughts, we like to hear, either advice to your younger self, something that you live by, or whatever you just want to portray to anybody. You can say it to the camera. You can say it to us. We'll start wrapping it up with that. So. Floor is yours.
Run background checks before you date people.
Period. With that.
Period.
Like, subscribe, follow.
That's it. No, I think have your own back all the time. And like, I think a lot of times we think like we spend a lot of time taking care of other people, but we really neglect what it is that we need to be doing. And like, if you believe in yourself and you've got your own back, you're kind of untouchable. Same thing if you like yourself. If you like yourself and you're self-aware and you're taking care of yourself and making the right choices for yourself, like doesn't matter what anybody says to you or does to you. You're kind of untouchable and invincible at that point. You know what I mean? Like it's like you reach a point where you're like, I know what I'm doing. I'm working hard. I'm happy with the person that I am. You could say whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. I know I'm gonna take care of me and get to where I need to go. And I like myself at the end of the day. So
security.
Knowing
who the hell you are, knowing what you bring to the table. Knowing your worth, and no one can cheapen you after that.
Correct.
No matter what they tell you, it's like I know my value. Whether you tell me I'm better than that or I'm less than that, I know my worth.
Doesn't matter.
I struggle. I mean, it's not only with relationships. I used to do it in comedy, like get in my head, like, why are people mean to me? Am I not funny? Am I this? Am I that? Or am I, whatever? And be like, well, I like what I'm doing. I think I'm funny. I think it's going right in the ways that it is. And then it's like 3 years into it now. And I'm like, I don't give a crap if somebody's like, oh, she's funny. I'm like, well, enough people do. And at the end of the day, I do. I like what I'm doing. So
he's a writer. I just found... I did all the math and he has 4 books. I wasn't.
That's impressive.
He got his 4th book. 4th book earlier this year. And we would talk, about getting feedback or maybe some negative, positive feedback. And it's like you're open and willing to accept positive feedback, but then when you get one negative comment, it's
like, oh my God.
That's what he would do. And I'm like, dude, you don't want to impress everyone. You don't want everybody to like that. Yeah. Fuck that.
I say that all the time.
Like we're not like I say it all the time as well. I'm like, we're not meant to mesh with everybody.
No.
Like I don't want to mesh with you if you're not meant to mesh with me.
No, that's draining energy.
And that's why when you come across, good friendships and good partnerships, it's that you're able to find something special there to mesh with them.
Yeah.
Because if you just got along with everyone, it's like, oh, well, you're crap, I'll just find somebody else. Or you're a lousy friend, whatever. It's like there's something special about finding that from when you could really mesh with someone. And I think that's the beauty of, let people hate, let people talk shit, let people not like your shit.
That's it.
You don't want it.
It's also, somebody told me that about my comedy. They were like, if everybody likes you, you're not saying anything. Like you're not really like, and then also it's impossible. So you might as well just get up there as long as you're happy with what it is you're saying.
Yes.
That's the thing. Be yourself. Be like, bring what you like, whatever you bring to the table, make sure it's genuine. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to change who you are to cater to someone. Because then what happens when you find an audience that doesn't like you?
You're going to constantly be changing.
That you're not. And it's like, then what? It's like, dude, do what makes you happy, follow your passion, be genuine, be yourself, and everything else will fall into place.
Play to your audience. Like that's even with your books. Like you have enough people that think that it's great. So write for those people. Exactly. Write for those. Those are your people. That's it.
Exactly. I like that. Yeah. It took me a while to accept that, and I would always take criticism so much harder than anything else. And now
it sucks.
Like the more but the more you get to know who you are, and the more you become comfortable with what you are and what you're doing, you become proud of that. And you like it, great. You don't, well, it's okay too. Like, life goes on. And you're not gonna please everybody.
No,
that's key point to take away.
No, and that's fine. And also too, it doesn't take away from your ability. I've learned that as well too. 100%. You could be an absolutely excellent writer, and somebody could not like your writing. That doesn't take away from the fact that you're an excellent writer or an excellent comedian. You could be good at comedy, but somebody could be like, I don't think it's funny. It doesn't resonate with me. You're gonna waste
all your time and energy trying to please someone that doesn't even like it at all. It's like, dude, if you got strengths and weaknesses, acknowledge your weaknesses, but just keep sharpening your strengths. That's what's gonna make you better. That's what's gonna continue making you.
It's advancing. 100%. It's like one of those things. Like you see people, athletes, and then they're best at their game. There's gonna be some asshole on the couch, fat, overweight. But this guy sucks. Yeah, but bro. Like this guy's a professional athlete, and you're here criticizing him from the couch.
That's what that was literally my ex. He used to be like, that guy really shit the bed on that game, and he did this and that. And I was like, you run out of breath when you take 2 steps to go to the kitchen. I was like, he could kill you. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, yeah.
If you scale things into perspective, like we criticize artists who drag all these big ass artists who sell millions of things, and then there's gonna be some person who I don't like this guy.
I think he's overrated.
Bro,
okay, do you think he cares? He just sold 8 billion records. Like what? Like he's fine.
No,
he's fine.
I got it. I can't. I got to do something for this one person that doesn't like my work because I need him to like me. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know you exist.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Well, that's the message.
Exactly. Brittany, thank you so much.
With that,
thank you.
It is time to break up. It is time to slow down, wrap it up, and close shop. So, Brittany, thank you so much, man. It was so awesome. Nice find, bro.
You like that, right?
Nice recruiting, man.
He's got good taste. Yeah.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this latest episode with Brittany. And before we sign off, please remember to like the video, subscribe, ring that notification bell, comment down below with any thoughts, ideas, whatever you want. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, coffeebreakup.com. Listen to us on the go, Spotify, and iTunes. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
thank you guys.
Till next time.
Ciao.